afternoon, shalom, wherever you are. It's nice to see you again, or you hear me. Anyway, gonna go ahead and pop on in here as a follow-up to my respawn ship video, because it looks like not the concepts, but the size of my theorizations are a little bit overscale. Because we have, if we look at the website here, we have the requirements. I'll go ahead and leave this link up in the description, or down in the description, or whichever damn place that the description is located. But yeah. Published on December 12th. Blah, blah, blah. Yes. Merch. Yes. It'd be kind of cool if we could have a choice if it was our respawn chip submission with it, or just like the cool like Foutain Core logo. I guess it kind of makes more sense to have the respawn chip on it, but you see, like, if it's only this, then all of my submissions, the whole designs are going to be based around, like, what I want to see on my fucking coffee mug. Because I don't want to see that. Anything close to that. And I'm afraid, and honestly, like, I don't even really want to see that. It's kind of like a penis or something. I don't know. We'll see if we can try to make something look pretty and be functional with the limitations. But let's go ahead and check out the limitations here. The winner of the build-off will be chosen by demo. Sweet. If he can't decide, he'll put up his 2 favorites to a vote. Please, bros, fellow Fronteniers, please submit something. I don't want to be left out in the dark here. I don't want to win by lack of competition. I mean, as you can see, my skills are just mad crazy. So if you can somehow do better than the Barney-mobile, which isn't even possibly a contender, but if you could build something that is much more sexy and functional than this, then yeah, please do so. He may have missed something in the requirements, but also changes maybe made to the ship prior to going live to the server. So the way that I understand this is that in case that there's something unforeseen that isn't listed below, which I've read this beforehand, so it all looks pretty solid. But yeah, like, I don't think this is going to change the winner, so to speak, but there might be some changes that he might have to make at one point or another, which is totally reasonable. I mean, space engineers, am I right? Due date is on the 31st. So we have, we got a little bit of time. We got just over 2 weeks here. But with holidays, I don't know, that I generally take this out of the calendar. Well, I generally take, like, from the 21st to, like, the 3rd off of my calendar for holiday stuff. But, yeah. So that kind of, at least for me, that gives me about a week, just over a week to kind of fuck around with this. But that should be fine. Limitations. So it does need to be a large grid. It makes sense. You really don't want to have a small grid. That'd be, like, super hardcore. Small grids, the utility of a small grid for farming purposes, production purposes, it's not even the same ballpark. In the past, I've even questioned Keen's logic behind adding in small grids, apart from just kind of forcibly adding variation to the game. Don't get me wrong, I enjoy small grids. In fact, on the server, I'll probably be once I get my stuff set up in the next survival episode, I'll probably actually be bringing in a small grid fighter and going over to thorium, seeing how she performs. I'm kind of pleased with what the design I've got right now. It's pretty disposable, really easy to print out, and looks it looks as good as I can get it. But yeah, no, small grids. Kind of glad that this is a large. Don't want it to be small. Light armor. Yep. Heavy armor is kind of useless for something that is so dependent on the weight early on. Smaller than 300 blocks. Let's look at this. That's gonna be, yeah, the cheat man's version of the noob tube here. 444. God damn, feel critical. 236. So effectively, you can remap the hole. All right, reasonable. Not quite the self-projecting board cube of doom respawn ship that we were fantasizing about last update, but I understand. Keen coded it. Leave it at that. 1750 PCU. That's nice. We can actually maybe add some real thrusters to it. Possibly even some large thrusters. So that'll be nice. No beacon. Yeah, don't include. So basically, like, I think a lot of the don't include stuff is going to be the things that are player built by dependent as far as the game reads it. So no beacon. Include at least a battery, so that, you know, when your uranium blows out, you've got at least a battery. 5 days of idle uranium. No refinery or assembler. No weapons. Must be atmospheric capable. 1 gravity generator. 2 gyros. Yeah. You don't really need 3. Start with 2. 2 is good. No antennas of any type. Yeah, I don't want those to just turn on when they spawn in. That would be a little cancerous. Must not have any other oxygen or hydrogen blocks. As in, no tanks? Any other? Maybe we can get some clarification on that, because I think most respawn ships start with an oxygen tank. Usually not a hydrogen tank. But I'm assuming he means that there's no oxygen tank or hydrogen tank. No more than one LCD screen. Dams. Means I can't coat my ships with Foutain Core propaganda. It should have just been like, I should have just submitted a reactor cockpit in the center with just giant LCDs all around it with just merch on it. No solar panels. Yeah, these should be... Last time I checked, these should probably be removed. They keep bouncing back and forth. At one point, they're so server CPU intensive that it's questionable as to why they're even in the game. And then last time I heard or looked at it, they're not as bad, but come on, like, in survival, you're really using a fucking solar panel. Like, go back to your solo creative or solo survival. No projector. Yeah. Did not think we were gonna get that one in. Didn't think so. I think it has something to do with the tag IDs, but maybe one day. Alright, let's see what this baby needs to have. Must have the components. So, yeah, you need to have the components to build the tier 1 drill. 2 beacons in case you F up. That makes sense. You need to have the components to build your first assembler, your first refinery. A merge block. You probably need to change this to 2, because you have to be able to switch merge, which means you need 2 of these to effectively switch your temporary tag into a permanent tag. Must have the components to build a small reactor. Yeah. I mean, shouldn't it already have a reactor? I'm hoping, okay, well, mine will definitely include a small reactor to begin with, and then yes, you do need extra power. Must have 5 of each hand tool in the cargo bay. Makes sense. Need 10 oxygen bottles. Maybe also include hydrogen bottles. Conveyor system must be working to all inventory blocks, so kind of like what I was mentioning in my concept designs for these guys. Yeah, your inventory needs to be linked. Must have. Not sure why this is 2 and not 5. I mean, I would have just said, sure, I don't really care, but I would have just said 5 of just all player tools, including weapons, and then just 200 rounds of ammo. 100% vanilla blocks, so that excludes your god, your patron, your Don, Mr. Bob, build and repair, stuff like that. But it doesn't exclude jump drives. Yeah. Unless it's somewhere down here. Must have a med bay, must have at least 1 thruster in every direction. Yeah, you want all vectors covered. Oh yeah, here's the 1 small reactor. Okay, so we'll have 1 already pre-built and then have enough components to build another one. 1 ore detector, definitely needed. Flight control seat, yep. Needs to have a gyro. Further up it said 2, so I'm just going to put 2. Air vent, not really sure why. Sure, but corpse dragging, man. Corpse dragging. It's probably less efficient. I'm just too cheap to pay for oxygen. Although I guess I'm not paying for it if I have an oxygen farm on my respawn ship. So maybe I will include this. It's just I don't want to have to deal with an airlock, especially for a respawn ship. Like, come on. 1 small cargo container. Okay, so can we only have 1 small cargo container? I'll have to look back up there. I think that, yes, you need at least 1, but you really kind of need more than 1. So. And my reasons for that anyway are, or at the very least, have kind of like the slotted philosophy that I have with these things in the back. Have places to slot these in the existing internal inventory system of the ship, because the second that you attach a drill to this, that small cargo container is going to fill up so fast that it's kind of a joke, and then you're kind of ping-ponging, right? So you'll start at your first asteroid and only grab a tiny bit of the material, and then you'll have to go find another asteroid and another asteroid. I mean, hell, if you get unlucky, you could go to 10 different asteroids in space before you get enough or find the one material that you need to effectively build more cargo containers. Which, yeah, fuck that nonsense. That can be resolved by just having a couple more of these. Let's see. It must be airtight. Fine. Makes sense, I guess. Oxygen generator makes sense. 1K ice in the oxygen generator. That's, yeah. Ice is scarce, man. If you invested in ice stocks prior to the ice update, you're fucking ballin'. Your Ethereum and your ice bitcoins are pulling through, and you should probably sell out now before ice becomes as common as water again. The ship must have an LCD in a prominent area near the med bay with the following: Welcome to Foutain Core. Your brand new respawn ship contains everything you need to get started. This ship is not capable of landing on the planet. This server is customized. Everything you need to know is on the website. At the website, if you have not already, you should stop. Think. Stop. Think. Read. You should stop what you're doing and go to the Discord on the website. Yeah. That works. I think that this is a wordier version of I think what was listed on these things, but it doesn't really matter. The point is, read the fucking rules, you know? Don't bug the admin. That's kind of the most important thing you could ever do as a player. Read, comprehend, and don't fucking bug me. And by me, I mean Demolish. Yeah. So, makes sense. Let's, so you can only have one LCD, which means you have to use it to put this in here, which means I can't pull the cool. We'll see if I can slip that in. No, I'm just kidding. Don't slip that in. I'm gonna try to see if I can get the cool logo on there. I don't know. I don't really know what it does to the size. So we'll see. We're gonna strip down the noob tube here, and we'll see if we can get the PCU way down. Because I like the internal system and the layout of the ship, but the whole is just kind of like wrapped on there to make it something not phallic at all. Okay. Must include. All right, so I've already got all like most of this stuff loaded in the cargo base and stuff. So most of the annoying bits of having to spawn, go into the admin mode and spawn in each of those bits and put them in the cargo base manually. I've already done that. So for these, I'm just going to use this as a base model and go from there. 1750 and 300. This is 444. 444. Woot. So there's a lot that I can take off of this. The trim, these, nice slopes. The window, my beautiful window is quite a few blocks. That's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 times 2, 16, plus probably another 4. That's quite a few blocks right there just for my beautiful window. It's gotta be airtight. Yeah, find out. Steam? Oh, Luke the Duke. The legend himself. Speaking of, I think Luke and I are gonna be doing a... This might be pseudo spoilers, but we might be jumping into Atlas if and when that game ever releases. Yeah, I'm a huge ARC player, unofficial survival PvP, and yeah, it's basically ARC meets Sea of Thieves meets Sid Meier's Pirates meets Black Flag meets fucking pirates and adventures, and yeah, I love it. I love that genre. Always have. Yes. Black coffee. It sustains me. Or shutting down my kidneys. Either way, the tingly feeling is nice. Okay, so we are going to see exactly what we can do with this motherfucker. Let's just start popping shit off. Now, what do we have here? We have our latest meshing of ideas for respawn ship, and I was thinking about it. It's crap. It is a steaming pile of space bantha. First thing that I kind of noticed was you can't really use these. Not enough power. Not enough power whatsoever. So we're gonna oh shit. Welcome back. After prolonged engineering challenges, I have a potential submission for competition here. This is the Twi'lek class respawn ship, codenamed Twi'lek. Got a nice voluptuous body on the back here. Totally needed.
you know, for your, in case somebody gets up too close behind your respawn ship, you know, they're fucking tailgating you. It's like, yeah, just put your favorite road rage, space rage thing right on that LCD. Anyway. Let's look at this thing. Yeah. Yeah. Let's get some sun. Yeah, this is the Twi'lek. I give you the Twi'lek class respawn ship. She's got a big booty. All nice like and you'll notice that she's got a little bit of lighting in the back. Probably not necessary, but it just kind of gives a nice ambiance. Also gives you an easy orientation if you're out in the depths of space, or like me, you stare into the sun and can't really see your ship. So, yeah. Very nice. The blue matches the Twi'lek over there, which is the most important part. Got six forward thrusters, which is pretty nice. They do function with only one reactor completed, but since Demo said he wants to have enough components for a second reactor, I just went ahead and threw it in there, just because, you know, for testing purposes. Should be probably the #1 thing that you do is you take your components out and put your fucking reactor down. Yeah. Continuing on, we've got plenty of side thrust as well. Not as much as forward and back, but plenty of side thrust. Plenty of maneuvering thrusters on the sides here. Right here, you can plug in a, let's see, connector. But if you'll notice, it's 125 BCU. And I think that these are limited by the player info, which I can't really check on the private thing, but I believe it is. But anyway, I left these open because, yeah, you know, external connector could be super useful for docking to things, to getting materials out of your ship, but yeah, considering that the PCU limits are a thing, didn't want to F with it too much, but that is a connector port. When we move towards the front, we have the cockpit area. Plenty of space for viewing purposes. Really nice. Don't have to mess around with bad visibility, and not really too worried about protection in a respawn ship, so, you know, there it is. Underneath here, we do have the pre-established module to easily attach a tube out for a drill, or a welder, or a grinder, or anything to your heart's content, you guys. It's, yeah, but it's there. Don't have to dig through the ship, and nope, right there. Super easy. Got our ore detector here towards the front, because I'm assuming you're going to be mining from the front. Not too much to say about the bottom, apart from just armor block details. On the right side of the ship, we do have 3 spotlights, so this should help with mining. It does kind of gate you in the way that you can mine if you get to the center of an asteroid, but I just didn't like the way it looked with it being perfectly symmetrical on the other side here where the door was. It just didn't really look that great, so kind of offsets it. But yeah, on the top here, not too much, just a bunch of pretty cool multi-layered armor. It doesn't really serve a purpose, but it does give it just a little bit of, just gives it that detail that you just don't really see. Even in more advanced chips, well, on a respawn chip, you just don't really see the layering of the armor with the angles and stuff, so try to go something that wouldn't look super generic. Yeah, something with the paint. There's some trim on there to make it look a little bit more interesting. Now, if we head on in here, turn my light bulbs on. This interior, I'm not super proud of. I think that my noob tube facile design, the Barnumobile, is a little bit better of an interior. I really like the ability of standing in one block and not having to worry about going and getting stuff, but this is pretty good too. Right here is your cargo bay that I'm going to fill up with all of the components that is on the list on the website. So it's right next to your respawn bay, so if when you spawn in, you'll be right here on your cockpit, and you'll be able to access this pretty easily. And if you respawn, you'll also be able to access this pretty easily, and it's right inside the door. So no big deal. You just grab your components, go outside, and weld up your drill or your connector port, and good to go. Still super convenient. Cockpit is kept the philosophy of having a big open cockpit. I like the idea of being able to see what's in front of you from your cockpit. It also helps with utilizing your suit lights, because if you leave them on and you're in here, they will light it up just a bit in front of you. It's kind of cool. Yeah. Looks kind of nice. The shape of the ship kind of reminds me of the Firefly ship. Don't remember the name of that ship. You should probably remember it, but yeah, ship from Firefly. Didn't exactly set out with that in mind, but it kind of happened. Now, if we continue down this way, we've got our prominently placed LCD, which I will insert the text into later. I was kind of debating on leaving it here, which covers up a battery behind it, or flipping it down onto the ground. There aren't a lot of places that I can put it. Like, I can't put it here because there's a window block right here, which would have been, like, I guess I still could put it here, but it would kind of F with the seal of the window, so I don't know. I could put it behind the cockpit here, but it looked kind of weird. So I just threw it right there. Let me know if you guys think there's a better spot to put it in here, but I just kind of threw it there for now. Moving down the line here. So this conveyor tube line is like the central artery that connects all of these slots that are empty that you can see here, with the rest of the inventory system. So I'm gonna put this to purple. Let's get some refineries. Assemble it. Okay. Yeah, so this is like the central artery. It connects everything. This right here, no, let me get the reactor too. So normally the reactor, if you come back here, is gonna be stuck on right here. I wouldn't have added in one of these, but because it is part of the requirements, here's the air vent, and if we close up the ship here, yeah, airtight. I had a leak somewhere over there, and it took me like an hour to figure out why it wasn't doing it. Anyway, we have airtightness for whatever apparent reason. Back here, we've got our one gyro over there, we've got our second gyro over there. In case you smash into one side of the ship, you don't take out both your gyros, you're fucked. You know, diversify. Right here, we've got our O2H2 generator, and underneath it, we've got our oxygen tank. Just kind of sitting there, works out. Over here, we have another cargo container that isn't linked to anything, but it does link fairly successfully once you install your refinery and your assemblers. Yeah, right into these different slots here. And as you can see, I have kept the speed modules. Speed modules are kind of nice. And as you've already probably noticed, this ship does have space for your player maximum allocation refineries, so 2. And I think that on board I have enough room for, yeah, because excuse me, I covered this up. So I had 4, but then I realized I needed to have an oxygen generator in a tank, so I stuck those in there. But if you wanted to, you could easily modify this to remove these 2 blocks and one underneath the medical bay, and have 4 assemblers on board, which is your player maximum. Don't think you really need it. If anything, you probably need a little bit more space for cargo and stuff. But to give you an idea, alright, stick that in the corner, drag and drop, boom. And this one, I believe, is to go the opposite way? Can't remember. Or, no, okay. So you just gotta make sure that the refinery connection port on the left, when you rotate it, stays like that, and then bring it to here so it connects into the back part there. And boom. Got your 2 refineries slotted in here real nice like. Take our assemblers, which connects to the central line right here, and the back line right there, as well as I don't think it'll connect to the refinery from there. That's why it loops back around. Let's see. Oh. No, we can... Okay. We can get it to link. Boom. Boom. They don't have all of these bead assemblers attached to them. There's kind of an... I mean, you could if you remove these blocks right here and stuck them in, but... I'd rather have the cargo space than a faster assembler, because in the beginning, even just one of these is probably faster than you can process the material and carry it. So, yeah, there we go. We got our total player allocation refineries all nice and symmetrically linked in the back of the bus. Got our assemblers installed right here. And then let's go ahead and go ahead and just install my second reactor like this, because I don't really need to have access to that air vent. And I really shouldn't need access to the rear reactor from at this point, because, well, yeah, if you do, then you probably haven't big enough problems to just start with a new respawn chip. But I'm just gonna throw it in right there. I don't really need access to the oxygen generator, which means that this is kind of a perfect spot for my beacon. Doesn't feel elegant, but boom. And yeah, got my beacon slotted in right there. Here's your instructions. Probably almost, at least if this is my respawn ship, almost immediately put down a cargo bay right there. And whatever the text is, I would either put another battery here or just stick another one of these, because yeah. Need more cargo. And that's actually kind of nice, because that means we go from 1 here, and then we get, what is that? 1. Yeah, so we start with 2, and then you have another 2, which is kind of nice, because, you know, it doesn't show you. It's like 156,000 liters, which is a pretty good amount. Like, you'll be able to hold enough ore on this ship to basically get you started on building some other stuff. Like maybe an actual dedicated miner, or expanding this thing out. And it doesn't crowd the cockpit too much, because when you come in here, you still have access to your essentials inside the cockpit, respawn bay, and your cockpit. But yeah, alright, well, with all of that done, we're gonna go ahead and pop in here. And yeah, I'm not super happy with the shape of the hull, but this thing is like basically at the limit. And trying to add armor detail to something with that low of a PCU, it's pretty challenging. So we're gonna simulate coming in here, spawning in. Ooh, got plenty of gyro, and going over that asteroid. So, boom. Ooh. With the battery on discharge, with 2 small reactors, pulling in 54% total power output, which is great. We are what feels like a little sluggish, a little underpowered just out of the get-go because of, I guess, our weight. Like, if we look at our weight, let's look at this. Grid mass. Feels kind of heavy, but I mean, we are rocking 2 freaking refineries in the back of the bus, so, you know, see, and look, if you tap it up and down too much, you're going to be bottoming out your power. So let's go ahead and fly on over to this asteroid. Love that. Be like, oh, there's an asteroid over there. I guess I'll go to that one next. Or, I don't know. Oh, one down there. Because, you know, we have downwards looking. More upwards, but... Because, you know, I've got to have my flight controls here mounted to something. But, yeah. God, I love that Twi'lek. So very voluptuous. You're probably wondering why I'm gonna check the braking power here. Something I like to do is this. See how my power keeps spiking? Actually slows you down just a little bit faster. Doing the wave. Yeah. Doing the wave. Alright. Oh, I should probably turn on my ore detector. It's not already on. Boom. Do 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 do. Damn. This asteroid just not a thing. Maybe it just doesn't work in single player. Yeah, I think it's all still. Oh, I saw. I think this. Yeah, I don't think I have it on pre-generated. Well, yeah. This is the Project Twi'lek respawn model attempt. I'm fairly pleased with it. She's not too big. Doing its thing. I think one of the biggest drawbacks of it is that it's just not... it's just not gonna look good on... I mean, maybe if you look at it from that direction, you would have to. Yeah. Wow, look at that. Look at the shadows of the asteroids. I don't think that this is gonna look very good on the coffee mug. I mean, maybe it will. From like the top, probably got the most detail and the cool, pretty. I think that's really probably the coolest angle that you can look at it from. But yeah. Anyway, that's the Twi'lek. Let me know what you think. I'm gonna probably continue working on some more designs. Oh, and for everyone that, oh, going upside down. Oh snap. And now let me pull all of this stuff off that I added, because that affects the PCU. Boop, 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 boop. Okay. Depressurized. Let's see here. 1728. And 311 blocks. So, yeah, not much else I can really do with this. Especially if I, you know, keep the philosophy of being able to slot in your player production allocation in this little baby. Yeah, there's not much more I can do. I can't even really add a thruster. If I do, it's gonna be... I mean, I guess I could add a couple more thrusters, but I don't know if I want one in there. Oh, look at that. It's different on this side than it is on this side. That's what you get for not building in mirror mode. I mean, I could put another thruster right there. And then it would bring it to... Yeah. I would, but then I would want to put another thruster right here, and I can't afford it, so... Maybe I could afford it if I take this off. And then, where is this? Sticking in right here. What's it at? Oh, 1745. I don't think it looks as good, though. It'll definitely perform better when it's trying to brake, but do you really need the front brakes as much? I mean, if you really need to brake, the extra braking thrust, just flip your entire ship around so that the back is facing the direction that you're traveling at, and it'll slow down much quicker. So, yeah, let's modify this. It was a weird block. I think it was this. Looks like really annoying to use. Yeah. And Zeta Draya. Yep. Yup. Yup. Okay. Yeah, there we go. A little bit more symmetrical. Maybe throw some paint on here. I'm not like super partial about any particular color variants. If anybody has a particularly strong opinion, let me know, because I'm kind of degaff about it. But I know I'm sure someone is gonna be me. Yeah. No, someone's gonna probably win this competition based off of their color choices in the right places, in the right angles. What not? But I kind of chose this blue-white color because it just kind of works with the ions here, and it's kind of a throwback to the original Respawn ship where it kind of had the same color scheme. So, and I did forget, so there is a giant glass window back here, and the reason for that is scalability. So the second that you've got enough resources, you can grind this window off, and you can stick a large reactor in this zone, connected right to the conveyor system. You can do that. You can then slap on a couple jump drives, which are really easy to slot in right there. You can pretty much do whatever you want in the back here. And using a window like this is... not only does it make it airtight, but the windows are all the same PCU. So if I look at the... which one is it? 3x3. Look at that. 1 PCU. It's freaking huge, you know? So what is that, 3x3? Yeah. So you can potentially make a pretty huge glass monstrosity of a starter ship if you really wanted to, but I just kind of just capped it off right here so that if this was my respawn ship, I could very easily come in here and, let me see, this wouldn't be here, and grind this down, and then put in a large reactor, which is arguably the thing that you need. Oh, I can't, oh no, my lights. Guess you'd have to cut your lights off too. Still worth it though. Boom. Very easy to slot this in, and because you have the layer of armor right here, you can just remove these as well and extend the whole of the ship back to wrap around your reactor if you needed it to. Same thing for if you really wanted a hell of a lot more storage, you can just keep extending it out. Let's see this thing. Boom. There you go. And then because those thrusters ain't gonna cut it, at least most likely ain't gonna cut it for anything long term. So you see where I'm going with this. So this ship right here, just with that addition, it's fairly nice. So it's very easy to scale. It's all lined up. Don't really have to worry about it. Even flying around like this, which leaves a lot of your internals kind of exposed, is still quite a bit more preferable than the original respawn ship, where it's not on a central access point. There's not a central block that you can build out of, you know, because a lot of these big bits here are based off of 3s, and they require a center. So yeah, very easy to do. In fact, I'll probably do something like that. Obviously, not leave these guys in here. Oops. But probably even as you slowly get enough platinum to upgrade your shit. Yeah. Look at that. So it doesn't blow these off. Anyway, you kind of get the point. That's the whole philosophy behind having the back end open like that. I didn't want to close it off because it didn't really look that great, so and it cost a hell of a lot more PCU to put regular blocks in, cover it. So I just discovered that if you just use a window of any size, it's 1 PCU, which is kind of cool. But yeah, guys, this is the wait, put the original back here, or not the original, but we put this guy back. Probably should have copied that after I fixed this. But yeah, this is my Twi'lek Project Twi'lek class respawn ship. It's it works. I'm kind of at a loss for any other ideas at the moment for another respawn ship, but this is kind of what I've got so far. It's cool. I really like the potential options that you can go with this thing. In fact, if I could just keep adding to this, and it could turn into like a full-fledged freaking main base ship, you know? So let me know what you think. Peace.